Okay, let's just state the obvious. We are living through a massive revolution in how we build software. I mean, AI assistants have moved way beyond just simple autocomplete. They're changing the entire game, and that's creating this incredible new world filled with both amazing opportunities and, yeah, some pretty serious new risks. And it's led to this new idea called vibe coding. Seriously, forget spending hours obsessing over every single line of syntax. This is, well, it's a much more fluid, conversational way to work. You act more like an architect, describing your vision to the AI, and the AI becomes the builder, handling all the nitty-gritty implementation details for you. And this really gets to the heart of the promise here. The AI expert Andrew Ng put it perfectly. The real goal isn't just about cranking out code faster. It's about elevating what a developer does, shifting our focus away from all that tedious boilerplate stuff to the truly creative work, the architecture, the strategy, the big picture problem solving. But here's the thing, not all of these tools are created equal, not even close. The market is just exploding with different options, and each one has its own philosophy. So let's try to map out this new landscape a bit and see what's actually out there for us to use. Generally, you can bucket these tools into two main categories. On one side, you've got your flow state tools, like Cursor. This is where the AI is baked right into your editor, working alongside you, almost like a real-time pair programmer. And on the other side, you have delegation tools. These are more like conversational assistants that you instruct to carry out a whole complex plan. They work for you, not just with you. So let's see how this actually plays out with three of the big players. You've got Cursor, which is an AI native editor. Its superpower is this deep understanding of your local code base, which is why a lot of startups and power users love it. Then there's GitHub Copilot, which is kind of the enterprise standard, right? Its strength is that seamless integration and all the compliance features big companies need. And then you have something like Claude's command line agent, which is a specialist in complex reasoning. It's the one you call when you need to do a major architectural refactor or untangle some really nasty logic bug. All this speed, all this power, it's incredible. It really is. But it comes with a massive, and I think often overlooked, cost. We have to talk about the security risks that pop up when we're generating this much code this quickly. And that brings us to what might be the most important question in all of this. I mean, with developers now able to generate thousands of lines of code an hour, can we really trust that any of it is secure? Well, the data is, honestly, it's alarming. A recent benchmark test called Backbench, which was designed specifically to probe AI-generated code for weaknesses, found that a staggering 62% of the solutions from even the top-tier models were either just flat-out wrong or, worse, had a security vulnerability baked right in. Just look at this heat map. It really lays the problem bare. The top rows are the best AI models out there, and the columns are different kinds of security vulnerabilities. Blue means they did great, but red and orange, that means they failed. And you'll notice, even the best models have these big red patches. They especially struggle with what's called security misconfiguration. We're talking about basic stuff, like leaving a database wide open to the internet. This isn't some obscure bug. It's one of the most common ways real systems get hacked. So the tools are powerful, but they're also risky. Now, that doesn't mean we should just avoid them completely. It just means we need a strategy. So here's a practical framework you can use for choosing the right AI assistant for you and your team. Okay, first, look at your existing workflow. Don't fight it. If your team lives and breathes in JetBrains, trying to force a VS Code-based tool on them is just not going to work. Second, you have to define your security requirements. If you're in a regulated industry, you absolutely need tools with zero retention policies. That just means they don't store your proprietary code, your secret sauce, on their servers. It's a non-negotiable. Third, match the tool to the task at hand. Vibe coding a quick prototype is very different from engineering a massive, scalable system. And finally, think about how your team is going to grow. The best tools can share context and standards to keep everyone on the same page. But at the end of the day, the most important piece of this whole puzzle isn't the AI. It's you. It's the human developer. The focus is now shifting from just writing code to becoming a much more effective partner and guide for your AI assistant. So how do you actually do that? Here are 3 pro tips that will make a huge difference in the quality of code you get back. 1. Plan before you execute. Ask the AI for a step-by-step plan first. This one small step can save you a ton of rework later. 2. Teach the AI about your project, but only do it once. Use context files to lay out your architecture and your standards so you don't have to repeat yourself over and over. And 3. Force the AI to ask you clarifying questions.
This prevents it from just making bad assumptions and giving you half-baked code. It turns the whole thing into a real collaboration.
And this really gets to the core of it, right? These tools are here for augmentation, not replacement. They're unbelievably powerful, but they completely lack the critical thinking, the architectural judgment, and that deep domain expertise that a human developer brings to the table. They're a force multiplier for our skills, not a substitute for them. So, all this leaves us with a final thought to chew on. As AI assistants write more and more of our code bases, what becomes the most important skill for a human developer? Is it the creativity to write that perfect first line, that initial prompt? Or is it the wisdom and the rigorous judgment needed to validate that very last line of code before it goes out to the world? Something to think about.